I don't know. So, thought it over.
Welcome, Witcher, to my humble home.
I'm looking for a dwarf by the name of Baltimore. Does he live here?
Master Baltimore vanished some time ago.
Who was Master Baltimore?
He was our runesmith, the greatest specialist the world has ever seen. A lot of water has flowed down upon Tar since he disappeared. Yet me and my apprentices still can't recreate all the runes he could inscribe.
How did he vanish?
One day he just up and disappeared. He had his fears, even paranoia, but that comes natural with great artists. Thought someone was out to kill him. Then he vanished without a trace in mysterious circumstances. After a month-long search, we held a funeral without his body to honor the memory of the great master.
Is that all?
Baltimore's best apprentice became the new runesmith, and life goes on.
Who lives here now?
Yours truly. As Baltimore's best apprentice, I became the new runesmith. Got this house, along with the honor of continuing the great master's work.
Can you tell me something about that moldy door?
That's the entrance to Baltimore's old workshop.
Mind if I take a look?
Not at all. Only you won't find anything but scrap metal and cobwebs. I heard the rumble, Witcher. Everything all right?
Yeah, just some rubble.
Find anything?
Not a thing.
Poor Baltimore lost his mind before his death and must have destroyed all his notes.
Why are you so sure he's dead? You didn't find a body. Maybe he just departed.
Well, if he departed, he's as good as dead to us. A decent dwarf don't leave his settlement. Tell me, why are you so interested in Baltimore?
Curiosity, nothing more.
Curiosity can be dangerous. It's led many a man astray.
Are you threatening me?
On the contrary, it's more of a warning. See ya.
What's this? Clad in hues of green, amid shrubs he's seen. Don't try anything. Ho ho! So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station. Iorveth's different. We haven't had a leader like him in ages.
You wanted to discuss something?
Your friend Sheila is conniving with Henselt.
I know this, Witcher, but it's no cause for concern. Sheila is there to ensure Henselt doesn't fall prey to the same people who killed Foltest. We don't want him as sovereign of the Pontar Valley, but we also don't need Kedwin to descend into civil war. Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important. You wanted to discuss something?
There's proof that the Wild Hunt is a vast accumulation of the power. Something that would interest mages, you'd think.
To the mere mortal, anything that is not immediately comprehensible is suspect, the product of a conspiracy. And where there's a conspiracy, well, it's obvious mages must have hatched it.
I'm a mortal, though probably not a mere one. I found the notes of a man who spent his entire life...
Paranormal phenomena interests Cynthia, my intern. Take this up with her. Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
I'm trying to learn something about the Wild Hunt.
Very interesting phenomenon. Like all mysterious things.
Willing to share what you know?
Well, I would be. Provided you found the notes of Morton Collis first. He devoted almost his entire life to researching the hunt. We could go into detail if you had his scribblings.
I found Morton Collis's notes.
So, let's see what you've learned.
Well, there are a few documented facts, but Collis notes the existence of plenty of myths and legends.
Very true. Where shall we start, then?
First and foremost, Collis studied the hunt's movement.
Oh, it's well known that the Wild Hunt moves north to south, never in the opposite direction.
That's what I remember, and Collis's research confirms it. I'm just having trouble understanding why that is.
The retinue's trajectory brings it into our world at the North Pole. Thus, once here, the wraiths can only move south.
Collis claims the hunt's appearance can be predicted by observing the Orcan Nebula.
And eclipses affect how often it appears. In any case, it arrives on the winter solstice, though not necessarily every year.
Collis calculated that the hunt slips into our world in those years when the nebula is in the eastern sky. When I pursued the hunt, I passed through many abandoned villages.
Well, the Wild Hunt abducts young people.
What for?
The wraiths might need workers, warriors, or meat.
Collis seems to favor the slave theory. What's the sorceress's take on the hunt?
The topic makes them uneasy. Since the Council and Conclave banned the use of mind spells, the Wild Hunt has been a taboo topic.
There's some link between mental spells and the cavalcade?
Both addle the brain. Anyone who has come in contact with the Wild Hunt has experienced mental instability that either takes the form of insanity or amnesia. You see, the wraiths emit a magnetic field that severely distorts perception and impedes brain functions.
People say the hunt's appearance is an omen of war.
In our times, wars are so frequent, we might even consider flights of honking geese as their harbinger. The hunt traverses our world in winter. Wars usually break out in spring, but only because rulers wish their soldiers to die in battle, rather than of cold.
Let's summarize.
Based on his observations and calculations of the Wild Hunt's movements, Collis arrived at two equally important conclusions. The first was that the Hunt is made up of knights who perished in various worlds and have reconvened as a retinue of vengeance. His second hypothesis states that an unknown, extremely powerful force multiplies wraiths, whose task is to travel between worlds in search of slaves. Both theories seem probable.
Each time someone runs into the hunt, the Wraith's magnetic field causes their mind to descend into chaos. By inference, another meeting with the hunt and its field should reverse the effects of the first.
Perhaps. Someone who lost their memory or their mind on their first meeting with the hunt could recover either on the second meeting. But I'm afraid that's unproved. Anyone who has managed to escape the Wraiths would rather die than meet them again.
So, you can lose or recover your memory by meeting the Wild Hunt.
Do you know something I don't?
I have amnesia, but my memory's been coming back since a certain event.
Since when?
Since I killed a specter, the king of the Wild Hunt.
You wanted to discuss something?
I've got Triss's bandana.
Have you learned anything?
Triss was here. Letho forced her to teleport.
Why would he? There are easier ways to travel.
Two of Letho's comrades, probably those responsible for Demoven's death, were hiding among the Scoia'tael. When it became evident in Flotsam that the Kingslayer wanted to dispose of Iorveth, the Scoia'tael leader gave the order to eliminate them. Letho had to reach the unit before the elven messengers did. He could only do that by teleporting.
I assumed that Triss wanted to teleport to me, but she missed the mark and they ended up in the gullies. What happened next?
Letho left her in a gully, wounded. He probably thought that she'd diversify the local trolls' diet. He himself went to see the elves and massacred the unit with his comrades. They're somewhere on the other side of the fog.
What about Triss?
She escaped from the troll. Everything suggests she's somewhere in the area.
I can assure you she is not in Vergen.
She has to be here. Locate her.
I'll try, but it will take some time. Have you learned anything else?
Sheila ordered Letho and Triss killed.
I can't believe that.
Believe it. I ran into some mercenaries she enlisted to kill Letho and anyone found with him.
She must have meant the other Kingslayers. Are you sure she knew Triss was with him?
Are you so sure of Sheila? There was something going on between her and Triss. I sensed a lot of tension.
A misunderstanding.
Maybe. Let's find Triss and clear everything up.
I need some time. What's going on out there?
Let's see.
What's going on?
The peasants want to take pitchforks to King Demoven's son.
Why?
The Dragonslayer's servant is spreading rumors that Stennis poisoned Saskia. The commoners are in an uproar. They want to dispense justice.
Where's the prince?
Barricaded himself in his room, guarded by nobles. For the moment, the peasants are still respectful, but they are feverish. A fight is inevitable. Help us out. The situation is dire. I'm going to inform the other nobles.
I'm not sure if Prince Stennis is guilty, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was involved.
Power. The object of dark desire.
Let's go, before this dark desire becomes too strong and someone gets hurt.
You go. I'll locate Triss. And should anything happen to Prince Stennis, remember, we need his blood.
I remember.